Welcome back. Do remember, all our top stories can be found on our website. That's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Please visit m.channelstv.com to see us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. We'd also like to encourage you to use the Eyewitness feature in the Channels TV app. If you have pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, just tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions. Now, according to the national leader of the NLC, the strike is in effect as from today. However, there are factions in the NLC that have stayed away from the strike. As we said just before the break, that we have Mr. Ahmed Adetola Kazim, a legal practitioner, to shed some light on this issue. Welcome to News Across Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Firstly, these are trying times for Nigerians. Nobody wants to be on the wrong side of an increase in the price of petrol, but you mind, people will be making money from it.
Definitely.
Those are people on the right side of it.
Definitely.
People that are, but that said, the Attorney General of the Federation, one of the reasons given for getting an order to restrain the NLC from going on strike is that it will paralyze the nation's economy. That's what he said. But isn't the very nature of a strike to disrupt things so you can get attention and a change?
I think it's the very nature of strike to ensure that you get what you're asking for. But I'm of the view that it should not be the first step. That is just the little variance in my view as regards what has been done. So we should give negotiation a chance. Definitely, NLC has some. They have some facts, and also they are right to a very large extent. But I think the manner should have not been the exact way it has gone.
They gave a 4-day ultimatum. Was that enough, according to labor law? Is that enough for the government to get its act together? During which there was a negotiation, which broke down at the end of the day, which led to what happened today.
According to labor law, it is generally strikes of this nature are actually not necessarily provided in the laws. Really, actually not necessarily. During international conventions, you can find them, but strictly under the law, you understand, you can't actually place this kind of strike, but in the interest of the masses, some things of this nature should take place at times. So, but I don't think enough has been done in negotiation to actually support the position of the NLC, particularly considering what the downtrodden society will feel. Presently, most states are not paying salaries on time. People are suffering. The minimum wage is 18,000. And the electricity bill has been increased. Now the pump prices has gone up. So how do you expect those at the lower rung to survive? So to that extent, I agree with the NLC. But the action taken, should it have been at this time, maybe I might not necessarily agree 100%.
What are the legal implications of defying the order of the National Industrial Court saying no to the strike for now, until the order lapses?
Well, first and foremost is, has it been ascertained that they actually got the order? If they did, if it can be proved that they got the order, then that is the contempt of the court. And
well, let me ask you another way. Yeah. Is the NLC breaking the law in any way by going on strike on behalf to protest what they think is for the benefit of Nigerians? It
is not a straitjacket answer. You understand? Because we have to look at the societal implications of it. But if it's breaking the law, as in not following the orders of the court, then that is illegal. To that extent, it's illegal. But generally, we can't actually say going on strike is going against any law, because somebody has to speak for people. And NLC, over time, has assumed that position of speaking on behalf of those who do not have voice.
Okay, so the order given by the National Industrial Court for them to maintain status quo, yes, as they put it, has been flouted, as we can see. So is that is the legal implication that they have, that they are in contempt?
Definitely, if they had notice of the orders.
Okay.
We must put that, if they have notice of the orders, not notices from the newspapers, not in the media. Were they served with the order? If they were served and they flouted the orders of the court, then that is the content of the court.
Okay, you can give us also a worldview of this. If strikes such as this and protests such as this can be prevented by going to courts like that of the National Industrial, then who will ever be able to go on strike?
I think we have to, because in my view, strikes have not worked. When we look at it it has not really, has it really worked? The last one that was done, did it really work? So I don't think strikes are, we have to be ingenious. We have to look at other ways of actually putting our grievances forward.
Some will argue that the last strike for this particular purpose put pressure on the government of the Jonathan administration to back down on removing subsidy at the time, even though it was a vicious cycle which you had to come.
It wasn't removed totally. At the end of the something was added. You understand? But I think we'll still have to actually invent ways of actually putting our grievances forward. That is my view.
So I
also think one way of actually making strike work is not to strike at the slightest provocation, in my view. That is what, because once something has been seen as, okay, at any point in time, they always go on strike, the first thing is strike. So I think it won't work that way.
Okay, Barrister Adetola Kazim, can we look at it from the periscope view of the fact that this is an issue that has been long endured by Nigerians and will continue to be? There's been scarcity of fuel. People have been groaning under the scarcity. There's been vacillations depending on the petrol station you go to, of how much the fuel is being sold. It's supposed to be 6 naira 50 kobo per liter. Some were standing above, and now this happens. So don't you think that the issue, the endurance of this long standing issue is what precipitated the NLC to say, okay, look, since they're going to take this tact, we have to show them that we're serious about protecting what they call protecting the rights of Nigerians?
I think the NLC have not said so. The reason the NLC has given for embarking on the strike, the reason the NLC has given for embarking on the strike is that their terms were not agreed to.
The term was revert to 86 naira 50 kobo per liter.
And the government did not agree. That was the reason why they went on strike.
Yes.
So I still feel, in my view, it's my opinion anyway, that they could have still explored further negotiations, in my view.
Okay.
In my view.
And if the federal government does not change its position? Then,
because I think another thing affecting the labor movement is the factionalization of the unions. So they are not speaking with one voice. That is why a strike of this nature is not really effective as it were. So where does that take us? But I think the NLC president, I heard him speak on the radio, and he said it's on principle, that they are on strike on principle, even though it's a lone voice. And I think the government should also try to listen to the lone voice and also read the deeper meanings of it. Because when you feel what those at the lower ranks feel, then you know that the increment in pump price is going to create a lot of hardship.
Final word from you. Is the NLC acting within its rights as a pressure group to continue with this strike that they've begun?
I think since there's a court order, it is in the interest of order that they obey the court order and explore further negotiations.
Thank you, Barrister Ahmed Adetola Kazim, for coming on News Across Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
And we hope that this situation gets resolved sooner than later. You are watching News Across Nigeria. Coming up, security in Ogun, Delta and Akwa-Ibom states. Don't go away.